Acting Chief Justice rules house-to-house registration is legal. Ministry of Finance releases its mid-year report, and Guyana achieves record-breaking 73% overall pass rate at CSEC. It's Wednesday, August 14. We have major news for you today. The Acting Chief Justice Roxanne George today ruled that GCOM's house-to-house registration exercise is not unlawful or unconstitutional.
As in its case before the Caribbean Court of Justice, all requests made by the opposition to the High Court were refused by the Chief Justice. Accountant Christopher Ram had sought the court's assistance to put an end to the house-to-house registration being conducted by the Guyana Elections Commission. The Chief Justice ruled this afternoon that there is nothing illegal about the very important exercise. Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Senior Counsel Basil Williams said the judgment was well-reasoned.
What is very important is that the house-to-house is not unconstitutional. No date was ever fixed by the CCJ, and she wouldn't fix the date either. Nor no elections are to be held in 3 months, as they had contended. And generally, there was nothing that was asked for by the applicant that was successful.
Ram, through his attorney Anil Nandlal, had asked the court to set a time frame for elections for September 18. However, Chief Justice Roxanne George said the language of the CCJ was quite clear. She said the highest appellate court refrained from setting a date for the elections and that the lower court will also follow suit.
The court could not, and this court cannot, refix the date of the NCM to June 18, 2019, when it was validly passed on December 21, 2018. It is not within the jurisdiction of the court to do so. To do so would be to disregard the rule of law and act contrary to the dictates of the Constitution, which the court is duty bound to uphold.
Another challenge before the Chief Justice was the legality of the appointment of GCOM lawyer Stanley Marcus. The court found that in the absence of a chairman, the CEO is the next most senior functionary and was well within his right to select an attorney to represent the Commission. Chief Justice Roxanne George ruled that the applicant, Christopher Ram, will pay the Chief Executive Officer $500,000, while 75% and 80% of that amount respectively will be paid to GCOM's lawyer and the Attorney General. Reporting for InfoHub, Alexis Rodney.
The Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate, CSEC, results are in, and Guyana has achieved a record-breaking 73% overall pass rate. Up to press time, InfoHub was informed that Rian Tony of Anna Regina Secondary School secured 19 grade 1s, while Alex Abraham of St. Rose's High School secured 18 grade 1s and 2 2s. And Charandat Narayan, also of Anna Regina Secondary, secured 18 grade 1s and 1 2. The Ministry of Education announced the results for the May-June CSEC and CAPE examinations late this afternoon at the National Center for Educational Resource Development, NCERD. Stay connected to our social media pages for a special report on this major announcement. The Ministry of Finance released its mid-year report today. Paul McAdam was there for the unveiling and has major news for us.
According to the Finance Minister, by the half-year mark, Guyana's economy grew by some 4%.
In terms of contributors to our 4% growth to the first half, rice grew by 3.7%, and this was in spite of paddy bug infestation, and we had record yields in the first crop. Other crops grew by 4.8%, and this was driven by root crops, spices, and vegetables. Gold grew by 4.4%, spurred by declarations of small and medium miners. Forestry grew by 8.5%, and this was driven by small and medium concessionaires. Manufacturing, critical to our economy, expanded by 3.6%, and this was driven by rice and light manufacturing, including pharmaceuticals, beverages, edible items, and timber products.
After giving a wrap-up of the sectors that performed very well and some not so well, the Minister projects that the end-of-year growth rate will be some 4.5%. This is just above the initially projected growth rate by the International Monetary Fund of 4.4% and just below the initially projected 4.6% growth rate by the government.
Since 2015, we have been operating in a challenging environment, but it has been made more difficult in December 2018, and that remains political uncertainty, and that could have an impact on growth. Of course, this unfavorable weather that we have experiencing well into August, that used to be dry period in the past.
The finance minister did a comparison between the first 4 years of the coalition government's administration's management of the economy versus that of the current opposition leader and former president Bar Jagdeo's term in office.
In 2015, we recorded growth of 3.2%. In 2016, 3.4%. In 2017, which was our only bad year, 2.1%. In 2018, 4.1%. And in 2019, we estimated 4.5%. If we were to compare the first 5 years of Mr. Jagdeo's presidency, because he loves to compare, so let's do the comparison. In 2001, 1.9%. 2002, 1.1%. 2003, negative 0.6%. 2004, 1.6%. And 2005, negative 5.5%.
From the Ministry of Finance, with videographer Akeem Thomas, Paul McAdam for InfoHub.
His Excellency President David Granger earlier this morning accepted India's new High Commissioner to Guyana, His Excellency Dr. K.J. Srinivasa's letter of credence. The head of state said Guyana looks forward to continued cooperation between the two nations. President Granger noted that India was among the first countries to establish diplomatic relations with Guyana after it gained independence on May 26, 1966.
Guyana and India have enjoyed excellent relations over the past 53 years. Our relations have been characterized by cooperation and collaboration in the fields of agriculture, culture, diplomacy, public health, housing, public information and communications technology, public infrastructure, investment, renewable energy, sport, trade, training, and water.
The head of state said relations continue to be enhanced by high-level contacts between officials of both states.
Guyana signed and ratified the framework agreement of the International Solar Alliance in January 2018. I reaffirmed our commitment to the alliance during my own attendance at the first summit of the International Solar Alliance held in New Delhi in March last year. Guyana looks forward to continuing its cooperation in India in pursuit of its goal of becoming a solar state, a key component of Guyana's Green State Development Strategy.
High Commissioner His Excellency Dr. K.J. Srinivasa reiterated India's commitment to assist in the overall development of Guyana.
Immense opportunities exist for both our countries to further enhance bilateral trade, particularly in agriculture and food processing, oil and gas, renewable sources of energy, forestry, drugs and pharmaceuticals, health infrastructure, education, etc. India is committed to Guyana's overall development, and India's participation in the development process in various sectors of Guyana's economy would continue, which would help in bringing the two countries closer.
Still to come, local democracy in action as Campbellville residents go to City Hall to address issues, and MNCC addressing flooding. Details of these after the break.
Are you ready to embark on a truly epic adventure to an undiscovered corner of South America, where some of the most spectacular natural attractions are unveiled within a beautifully diverse landscape? From the wetlands and savannas to the ancient mountains, magnificent waterways and lush enriching rainforest would provide a vast playground for some of the most exotic and breathtaking creatures on the planet, including many of the world's giant species. This untouched land of mystery and wonder serves up an exclusive experience for travelers. So are you ready for a new, awe-inspiring adventure? Welcome back to nature. Welcome to Guyana.
Welcome back. Minister of Natural Resources, the Honorable Raphael Trotman, led a group of Campbellville residents to the Mayor and City Council on Tuesday to seek solutions to their problems. The visit follows the minister's promise at a meeting with the concerned citizens on Sunday.
The standing order was removed from the MNCC's monthly statutory meeting to facilitate the important engagement with residents. Minister of Natural Resources Raphael Trotman explained that the impromptu visit was to introduce the residents to their constituency councillor and to give them an opportunity to voice their concerns.
There was some concerns expressed about the state of the drains and fields and so forth. There was one field that had a lot of used tires that were gathering water and mosquitoes. And so immediately I said, look, it's something I could help with. The mayor has been writing letters offering skip bins, I think they're called, belong to the council for rental. So I'm renting 2 of them and I'll be clearing the tires tomorrow. And many of them said that they'd never met their councillor. And so I said, look, council meeting is a public place. I used to be a councillor once. Let's go and meet the councillor. I'm sure that he wouldn't have an aversion or a problem with meeting. And I'm quite happy to say that he excused himself from the meeting and he came out and was able to meet with the residents. So that is what local democracy is about, and today is a demonstration of the practice of local democracy.
Councillor of Constituency 3 Dimitri Ali said that the issues and concerns raised by the residents were taken into consideration and ways for the matters to be assisted will be sought.
First of all, we'll review all of the whatever was mentioned by the villagers in that area in the Campbellville housing scheme. We review how we can develop another plan, if that is possible, through the Ministry of Communities or through the City Hall. And from that, we'll have to evaluate that situation, see what we can do.
Councillor Ali added that the drainage situation will also be addressed. Kellen Rover for InfoHub.
The Mayor and City Council has announced its readiness to address the current flooding situation in the capital city at the earliest possible time.
We have experienced exceptional rainfall, which have caused a backup of water within the city. This is during the period of the high tide, where the pump should have been on for the lengthy period until it is time for the doors to open at the low tide.
That was Kenson Boston, acting city engineer. Speaking to journalists at this morning's press conference, Boston said based on reports received by the municipality, the pumps were not in operation during the heavy rainfall, which causes the high volume of water.
We have launched an investigation with that in view as to why the pumps were not on. We have systems in place for such events. However, the operational procedure wasn't followed, and we have to find out why.
According to the acting city engineer, the City Works Committee has arranged for the standard operation procedure to be revised so that there will not be a reoccurrence of the situation.
So we're working to improve the system that we have, and from the investigation, we hope to find the weak points that we'll be trying to strengthen in order to mitigate or prevent this problem from reoccurring once we have these sort of weather patterns at high tide.
Acting Town Clerk Sherry Garrick noted that disciplinary actions will be taken on those who are found culpable in the performance of his or her duty, while noting clearly that no complaints of damages have been received. Meanwhile, the Civil Defense Commission has informed that there was no major flooding across the coast, while a follow-up with various regional executive officers in the coastal regions reiterated same. Kellen Rover for InfoHub.
Your GCOM tip for today: To know when the house-to-house registration team will be in your community, call telephone numbers 225-0277-9 or 223-9653. Remember to get registered. That's all for today. Connect with us on WhatsApp, Facebook, and YouTube. Much more news is on our website, dpi.gov.gy. And pop over to Instagram for the latest photo updates at DPI Guyana. Your bridge and weather reports are up next. Goodbye for now.